Welcome back to SoCal Business and Basketball Report. We're here tonight at Sierra Canyon High School, where Sierra Canyon pulled out a close one against Westchester High School. Give credit to Westchester, a very tough team. They had a big win earlier this week against Rancho Christian High School, where they were undersized, and their toughness helped them win that ball game. And tonight, you give credit for Westchester for a tough ball game, but give credit to Sierra Canyon as well, where Cassius Stanley had a tough game all night, but down the stretch hit a big three, had a big block on a fast break, and Scottie Pippen Jr. Hit some key buckets down the stretch to help Sierra Canyon move forward to the next game, where they'll play Mater Dei. So this is Ray Dietz. We're back. We're winding down the season, and Sierra Canyon has one more game here in Southern California. If they win against Mater Dei, they'll go on to the state championship once again. In terms of the business environment, we've talked quite a bit about the Chatsworth area and the Porter Ranch area on previous coverage of Sierra Canyon, so this week we'll talk a little bit about some tax items that are important to people. The SALT, the state and local tax, is really impacting California and a lot of the higher income states. What you have with this new law, the SALT item, it's where you can only write off $10,000 of state income tax and property tax and local tax. So, a lot of people in Southern California are going over that amount, and it's going to impact their tax returns. And I think we're seeing some people moving out of California in the high wealth category as a result of this. When you look at the numbers, the cap will raise about $673 billion for the federal government over the next decade. And that's according to the Tax Foundation. Nationally, Americans are going to miss out on $323 billion in deductions this year. And California is about 1/5 of that amount. So you're going to see some impact. You're going to see some people moving. Traditionally in California, of course, your property taxes are locked in when you buy it and can only go up so much per year, where some other states, your property tax fluctuates according to the value of your home. So that may contribute a little bit to the property values in California escalating over time, more so than other states, in that your property tax is locked in, so that's kind of an asset if you've owned a property for a long time. One example, now there's some other reasons why this house has been dropped, but Michael Jackson's ranch up in Santa Barbara County, they put that up for sale initially at $100 million. It's down to $31 million. Now there's mudslides up in that area. There's some karma on that property, of course, and so there's other reasons. But more locally here, say around the Beverly Hills area, I saw there was a house listed at $22 million. It's dropped to $19 million. So you're seeing some people wanting to get out of California. Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's right-hand man for years, he made some comments. A lot of times he says some things that maybe 75% of the people are thinking themselves but afraid to say it. But he said, why would you not want wealthy people in your state, in your community? He said that wealthy people they're usually older people. They keep the hospitals full, and they're usually not a burden on the schools. So funny guy, but yeah, certainly some people are being driven out of the state at this point with this SALT tax. So we'll see over the next couple of years how that continues to impact Southern California. But near term, I gave you some numbers, and it's going to impact the economy. So last week We talked about our first team all SoCal business and basketball report. This week we're going to go over the second team. And we're going to kick that off with Zaire Williams from Sherman Oaks, Notre Dame, a power forward, a junior, one of the best leapers in Southern California. He dunks the ball awfully hard and on multiple players. Look for him to, as a senior next year, to continue to expand his game in terms of moving out of the 5-foot area. If he keeps working on his shot and his jump shot, I think he can only get better. He's got great upside. He has offers from Stanford and a lot of other places. So he's going to be a very good one. Jared Hyder's a senior from Damien High School, a shooting guard, and he's committed to Fresno State. He's one of the best shooters in Southern California this year, and I think Damien's probably a year away, so he probably wishes he could come back next year with Damien High School, but he had a great senior year shooting the basketball. Next is a sophomore, Malik Thomas, also from Damien. He's a very good point guard. He played quite a bit as a freshman last year. He's only going to get better. He's been rock solid. I saw from LeBron James High School a sophomore point guard from St. Vincent St. Mary that reminds me a little bit of Malik as well, but Malik's probably going to be on the national stage by the time he's done. Next is Lamont Butler, a junior from Riverside Poly. A point guard, scoring point guard, and he took his team quite a ways last year as a sophomore, and he's in the top 200 players in the country. Like I said, he likes to score, and he's going to continue to get a lot more notoriety over the summer and next year. Next, Cassius Stanley. We had him tonight, and I chose Joshua Christopher over Cassius for the first team. But I don't need to get into how good Cassius is. We all know how good he is, and I got some more news on him later tonight as well. KJ Martin, a senior from Sierra Canyon here, another one of the best leapers in Southern California. He hasn't decided where he's going yet, and Cassius has not either. But KJ, one of my favorite players in Southern California, plays hard, rebounds, and he can fly. Next, Christian Coloco, a senior from Sierra Canyon here, 7-footer, played at Birmingham last year, impacts the game. He can only, he can go out and score just a few points, but he impacts the game quite a bit in a number of ways, and he's headed to Arizona. Next on the team is Isaiah Mobley, a senior from Rancho Christian, small forward, can shoot the ball for a 6'9" player. He's headed to USC, and he's also a McDonald's All-American this year. So he's the representative from Southern California for the McDonald's All-American team. Next, we have Ethan Anderson, a senior from Fairfax High School, and he's headed to UNLV, strong, thick shooting guard. He gets up as well, and Fairfax had a tremendous year. They won the city section this year. And so look for him to do well at UNLV. Next, we have a senior from Camarillo, Jaime Jaquez, a good shooter. He's headed to UCLA, and he's had a storied youth career. He's been on the scene for quite a while, and didn't have a lot of help out at Camarillo this year. But he stayed with his guys that he grew up with at Camarillo High School, and he did very well, scored a lot of points this year. Look for him to contribute at UCLA over the coming years. Next, a senior, Josh Vasquez from Bishop Montgomery, senior shooting guard, another one of my favorites. Tough kid, hits big shots, and he's been around a long time as well. He's been, remember, down at the Galen Center at USC his sophomore year. He hit some big threes down there in the southern section. So he's headed to Montana, and he should do very well. Montana's on top of their conference this year in the Big Sky, and they continue to recruit Southern California. Next, we have Jake Kyman, a senior from Santa Margarita. He's headed to UCLA, one of the better shooters in Southern California. He's about 6'6", 6'7", so he has some height. Santa Margarita, they actually lost tonight, but they went pretty far this year in the state tournament. They won the Southern Section Division I championship, so he goes out with a bang, and so he'll be at UCLA next year. Finally, the last player on our second team is Michael Afogbu, a junior from Mayfair, and he's an athlete. He gets up. He's a guy that not everyone's picking him, but I like this kid. He's a good athlete. He's got another year, and look for his team at Mayfair to do very well next year. Our player of the year, this year we got a co-player of the year situation. I'm picking Max Agbonkpolo from Santa Margarita and Cassius Stanley, I alluded to earlier. Those are the co-players of the year here for SoCal Business and Basketball Report. There's a lot of great players in Southern California. I'm counting that I'm very familiar with 28 other Division I players that could play Division I in college, on top of our 20 players we've already recognized for first team and second team. So that's quite a bit, and I'm telling you there's another 10 out there that I haven't watched closely. So at any one time, when you include freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, there's around 60 Division I players in Southern California here. So it's been another banner year for talent. So the game here tonight, Sierra Canyon won 65 to 60 over Westchester. Give Westchester again credit for their toughness. They beat Rancho Christian this last Tuesday by 17 points. And Rancho Christian, they've got a 6'9" McDonald's All-American. They've got a 7-footer who's the #1 player in the country by a lot of accounts as a junior, and Evan Mobley. And they have a guard that's committed to Gonzaga. They've got a great shooter on that team at Rancho Christian. So Westchester, very tough, and you saw that toughness tonight against Sierra Canyon. If Sierra Canyon didn't have that gut check, they could be sitting at home this year, but give them credit, they did prevail. They'll play Mater Dei this next Tuesday. The winner goes to the state championship. In Division I, we had Etiwanda over Santa Margarita. I understand that Jake Hyman didn't score at halftime, so they really focused on shutting him down. And then we had Chino Hills beat Rancho Verde. So once again, Onyeka Kongwu has a chance to lead his team to Sacramento. They'll play Etiwanda. If you recall, a few weeks ago, we were out there at Chino Hills, where Chino Hills did beat Etiwanda on senior night. So that gives you a good rundown there of our situation here in Southern California. Talked a little bit about the tax situation that's impacting people throughout the region. And we'll look forward to seeing you again next week with more business information from California and more exciting Southern California basketball as we look to have another banner year with Southern California representing itself well at the state championship level. Have a great night, and we'll talk to you soon.